The only woman running for president on the Republican side stole the spotlight in the 5 p.m. debate. Carly Fiorina coming out strong right out of the gate. Watch.
I started as a secretary and became ultimately the chief executive of the largest technology company in the world, almost $90 billion in over 150 countries. I know personally how extraordinary and unique this nation is.
Let's bring in Marjorie Clifton. She is former consultant to the Obama campaign and the principal at Clifton Consulting, and Katherine Timpf, a reporter for the National Review and a Fox News contributor. Welcome to both of you. Good to have you here this morning.
Thank you.
It's very interesting to hear the discussion this morning about Carly Fiorina and how strong she was yesterday. Katherine, what's your take on it? What do you think it's going to do for her going forward?
I've always really liked her, but that's because I'm a politics nerd, so I knew who she was. Because she crushed it so hard yesterday, because she was such a star, a lot of people who wouldn't have heard of her otherwise are hearing of her now. And I really would like to see a her versus Trump situation, because he couldn't do his same rough and tough thing, especially now without her throwing it right back at him.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. Marjorie, in terms of looking at Carly Fiorina, the only woman on the GOP side of this equation, and Hillary Clinton, how do you think that would match up?
Oh, I would love that. Nothing more than that. Especially looking at the optics of the primetime debate last night of 10 men in, identical blue suits lined up. It was sort of this galling sight. And I thought, thank God there's Carly in her pink suit and so well spoken and so well presented. And I think represented everything that women are excited about in terms of that rational, poised and smart conversation. So I think it would be a really interesting debate, and I think it would do a lot of good. And look, women are 50% of the electorate. So these men are going to have to learn how to speak to women and how to appeal to women. And again, seeing very confident and well-messaged and strong and ready candidates makes me happy on both sides of the aisle.
Yeah, but Marjorie, staying with you for a moment, she doesn't pull any punches with Hillary Clinton. I mean, she's called her a liar. And pretty much every name in the book in terms of what she thinks, whether Hillary's honest and trustworthy. Carly doesn't hesitate to go after her. She's the only one, actually, on the GOP side who really does.
Well, I think she has a license to do that frankly, some of the men don't, because of this sensitivity about how you spar with a woman. I think it would be interesting to see how Trump would manage her, because what we've seen with Trump is he absolutely has no pause when it comes to taking fire at any woman and frankly, offending most women. So I don't know how that would play out. It would be a very different kind of debate. But it does make it different when it's two women having the conversation, no doubt.
Another issue that was very much on the table last night in terms of the discussion is Planned Parenthood and the funding of that agency. Here's Scott Walker on that.
Unlike Hillary Clinton, who has a radical position in terms of support for Planned Parenthood, I defunded Planned Parenthood more than 4 years ago, long before any of these videos came out. I've got a position that's in line with everyday America.
Katherine, what do you think about the Planned Parenthood discussion last night and where it goes from here?
I think that there was not that much of a possibility for all that much serious discussion at all last night because of Donald Trump. But, I mean, he has a great point, and those are the kinds of things that we need to be talking about, people who have records. He has a record. Trump doesn't have a record. So, obviously, I think it could have been taken a little bit more seriously, but I think it's going to have to take that direction as we get closer to 2016.
Yeah. Marjorie, what do you think in terms of this issue? Hillary Clinton has defended Planned Parenthood. She says she stands by them. She's been very involved with the organization, really, over the years.
Well, it's interesting because Planned Parenthood has become this representation of a larger issue. And I think it's a little bit dangerous in that using that one example, this very present and very real topic. So I understand why they use it. But again, as time presses on, we are still very early in the political conversation and in the debates. And there's still a lot of facts that need to be uncovered with that situation. And over time, reputations change. But Planned Parenthood, again, becoming representative of this issue of choice, becoming this issue of women access to health care, which always seems to be the sticking point. So while I understand the choice, I think it's a really potentially hazardous one to make this early on because later it could be thrown back at them. Again, looking at the stats on Planned Parenthood, 3% of what they do is abortion, whereas the rest of what they do is health care for women.
Some people say it's the exact flip of that number. So more to come on that. Thank you very much, ladies. Good to have you with us.
Thank you.
So the candidates are already on the move and moving out of Cleveland and on to the next event.